Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and it is the 4th of July. So happy 4th, happy Independence Day. I'm very happy to be here tonight. I'm going to give it just a few minutes to see who is able to join me live. Whether you join me live or on the replay, I would love for you to just say hello in the comments. And I know that it is a national holiday, and I am not holidaying today. So I had been vacationing very recently, was gone for 10 days, came home and was sick for a few days. So I was like, yeah, this is not going to be a no work holiday for me. So I'm celebrating the 4th in my heart today and not with any festivities. And I'm actually been really happy to be where I am and very grateful to be alive and to be living in the U.S. and yes, all the things. So happy 4th to Kelly and to Kathy and Corinne. Welcome, welcome. Well, you know, because I wasn't really doing anything but working today and getting caught up on things, I was actually at physical therapy today. I go to PT twice a week, and they polled all of their employees and said, would you rather have Thursday off for the 4th, or would you rather work on the 4th and have a 3-day weekend? Well, they voted for the 3-day weekend. So I was very happy to be able to get that in today as well. Hello, Elena. So it has been a good day, and my son that lives here in San Antonio was smoking some meat and having some friends over. So my hubby got to go over there for a little bit and enjoy a little bit of time with the grandkids. Hey, Mary, it's good to see you. Oh, you posted a box that you made. Okay, Corinne, that sounds good. Well, I wanted to share this because it's the 4th, and I got this from my upline. My top upline is Jill Olson from, I think it's stampingwithjill.com. She's an amazing demonstrator. I think her demonstrator is number 5, so I feel like stamping royalty to be part of her team, even though I'm down a couple of levels. And whenever every month, I'm blessed to be part of her top 30 is what she recognizes. And this is the card that I got this month. And I thought it was just such a fun, happy, very celebratory card, and was a great one. Yes, Elena, you see your swap card. So I am showcasing you tonight and some other things. So let me show you where we're going to go officially tonight. And that is, we're going to go with this whole suite. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous suite. And it is on pages 46 and 47 of the annual catalog. And this is the feature of of Candy's Card Club this month. So a lot of times I mix and match things for my card club. This month I went right here. I went with this paper, so they get this paper, these pearls, this paper, and they make 8 projects. So I will show you what that goodie bag looks like in just a minute. So yes, we do, you see this card right here? So Elena made this. This is what we call casing. So some of y'all are very familiar with that. And the word case, all caps, stands for copy and share everything. And so it's an acronym that we use a lot in Stampin' Up. Well, each time we have a new catalog coming out, one of my team members is Melissa Thomas. And she has an amazing business in her own right, and she is C2C Stampin'. And Elena is part of my team, and she is actually under Melissa. And anyway, we do a swap called Casing the Catalog. So this is the card that Elena cased, and I love it because it actually showcases the stamps, and that's what I wanted to do tonight. So I did a lot with the dies for my Candy's Card Club, and I actually did a lot with the paper. But I wanted to really showcase something that did not use the designer series paper tonight. So I'm going to need some water. Let me show you what I mean. So let me get my little bag of goodies here. So this is my card club for July. This is well underway in preparation, and it will be shipped out July the 17th, and it is still open for registration. So my card club members, now that could be, you could just take 1 month, or you could be a member where you have the subscription. So they're going to get 2 each of this gorgeous designer series paper. And I will tell you, this is absolutely distracting in the sense that you start working with it and you really just don't want to stop. And so, but part of the suite also is these papers. And so this comes in a 12 by 12 pack, and you get 5 sheets. So for my stamp club this month, everybody's getting a 1/4 sheet of each color. And they are just so pretty, so very pretty. And then they're also going to get these lovely pearls. And look at the colors. I love that we have these colors, but I also love that they're kind of iridescent, so they really can go with several different colors. And then I always include the 8 envelopes and then the 8 cards. Now, my Stamp Club members get the card project packets. So let me just show you really quick, and I'll show you what I mean by I couldn't stop using the paper. So these actually, both of these use the paper. These are 2 pieces of the paper. And I just couldn't stop using the paper. So I thought, well, I'm going to go a little off the paper tonight and show you some of the other possibilities with this gorgeous, gorgeous suite. So you can see there, I do 2 each of 4 cards, but there's a difference with each set. So I should really say 8 cards, and there's 4 of 2 sets. So this is my my fun fold for the month, because each month they get a fun fold. Okay, so you can see these really, really feature the paper heavily. So I thought tonight, let's do something that really focuses on the stamps and the ink, and we're using a little bit of the specialty paper, not the designer paper with all those gorgeous, gorgeous scenes. And, you know, on the back of the scene sheets, there's like a watercolor wash. So they're just incredibly beautiful papers, great colors that you can use in so many ways. And they perfectly fit the bill for my Stamp Club, because I like to show a lot of variety and a lot of versatility. Okay, so all that gets tucked away so I don't lose anything. Okay, so this is a great example of the stamps, ink, and paper. And then this is the one I was fooling around with yesterday. And I'm going to do it a little bit different tonight, and we'll just see where we go. So this is using this piece of specialty paper here. And this doesn't even use any dyes, and I love it. I think it's so pretty. It's very classic, very pretty. And this one, I kind of did the same thing, but I actually had this die just left over sitting in a drawer and thought, well, maybe I'll use that. And this is actually, this is that polka dotted ribbon, actually trim, that is from the coffee suite. And I wanted to use something with that crumb cake color, so I just turned this over. And that ended up being a good call. So I'm going to do this kind of a little bit of this, but we're going to make it up a little bit different. So let's see where we go. So yesterday I used this piece of paper, so I'm still going to use that, but instead of putting Calypso Coral behind it, which is the color here, I'm actually going to put basic gray behind it, which is going to pick up all of that pretty shimmer because it looks a bit silvery. And then I'm going to lighten it. And that is by adding, instead of Calypso Coral, or this is Cajun Craze, I'm going to add Petal Pink behind it. And just to show you that these papers are so beautiful, and you can see how you can have just a really deep, rich look, or we're just going to go a lot softer for this one. Now, this was left over from prepping. I don't know if I can fit it in here, but I do love this die. I mean, I seriously love this die. Don't know if that color was going to go here, but I think if I'm going to be able to use it, it's going to be because I cut it. So let's see what we can do. Scissors. Oh, Marissa's here. Hey, welcome, welcome. And I'm glad you like these colors. So this has a few of these little pieces are still in here. Like I said, this was just a leftover from die cutting from for Stamp Club. And it was just sitting there and I thought, it's just so pretty. Maybe I could make it work. Now, believe it or not, when I'm doing these two colors, I am going to do those two colors, but we're going to change it up a little bit. I actually used Calypso Coral, and I used this color right here, which is Wild Wheat. Now, you know, this is, I've never met a yellow I didn't like. And the yellows that some people struggle with, I always love. And some people have struggled with Wild Wheat. I think it's really pretty. I think it's an elegant yellow. It's kind of a gold. So let's take all those extra little bits. Now, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this in half, because if I'm able to utilize this, it's going to be because I spread it out. Because look here, this is going to take up most of the space, and I don't know, it might just give us a nice little bit of detailing behind it. So let's see what we can do. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of blending brush action here, and I've got my two colors, and I'm going to do mostly Calypso Coral. You know what? Let's do Petal Pink, because we're doing the lighter colors. Let's see if we can. Let's see. This is actually my favorite way to stamp. When I stamp on what some people call stamping on the fly, it's my favorite way to stamp. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to put a little piece of paper underneath me, just so I don't have to clean this when I'm done. And let's see how we get. Oh, now Marissa, you're thinking of an elegant wedding card. Okay. And Linda's here. Welcome, welcome. So I'm thinking that we're going to go the lightest color first and then go up from there. But I think we will go... Yeah, I think we're going to go Petal Pink first. Let's see how this looks. And I'm just going to use the same blending brush for all of it. So let's see. Oh, yeah. See, this is a really pale color, but it's the color of the card base that I'm using. So I'm just going to, when you do this kind of a technique, you have to just not be afraid to add color. You can always add more, but you can't take away. So I'm going to add lots of layers of this Petal Pink, because it is a pale color. And I find when you're using a dye like this, and this is the dye from Garden Meadows, which I absolutely love the dyes, and the stamp set is pretty amazing. I like to really get into those grooves because it makes them stand out more and more. Now, let's just pop this over here to see what we're thinking so far. Ah, yes. You see how that's just beginning to really come together. Hola, Adriana. I'm so glad you're here. And Simone is here. So welcome, welcome to my Spanish-speaking friends. ¿Cómo está? Bienvenidos a mi page. My very poor Spanish. I will break out just a wee bit. Okay. Let's just add a little bit more. Now I'm going to bring in a little bit, not much, I'm going to bring in a little bit of that Calypso Coral. And you know what's fun about these blending brushes is I find that when you do this kind of work, it just really makes you feel like an artist. Now you see this is quite a bit darker, and I don't want to bring it all the way from the bottom. I want to bring it right across the center. Ooh, I'm liking these colors. And I'm not going to use very much of the yellow, but I am going to bring it up at the top. And I'm going to show you another little trick before we finish. And it's kind of the same thing I like to do with my blends markers. Now, once again, we want to just kind of see how we're coming along. Okay, I'm digging it. I think that's a good way, but we're going to add a little bit of yellow here. And it's this is where I'm using wild wheat versus lemon lolly or something like that, because I want this kind of deeper yellow. And so wild wheat is going to just do the trick. Now, I don't want it very dark, so I'm really going to stamp off and do a lot of blending over here before I bring it into the top of my little window arch. Now, that's all the yellow I want to do. And then, last but not least, I'm going to come back in with Petal Pink, and I'm going to run it over everything. Now, this is just going to get a good wash when I'm done. I don't do a different color for a different brush for every color. I don't have the patience for that. I do prefer to have just orange for all my oranges on one brush, but I'm a lazy stamper, so I'll just grab what I can and go with it. Now I'm going to take this Petal Pink, and I'm going to go over everything. And that is going to help blend everything together. This is the color I started with, and this is the color I'm going to end with, and just make sure everything has that really nice cohesive look. Okay, so that's ready to throw away. See what easy cleanup that is when you just put a little piece of copy paper underneath you. So that is going to be ever so nice. Just what I'm looking for. Now, I'm kind of using this as a little bit of a base, but I'm wanting to kind of change things up a little bit. So I'm thinking I don't want to go with, I'm not going to bring in the crumb cake element. So this ribbon is the same as my card base. This is Petal Pink. It comes in a pair with the pink and the white. So I think I'm going to use that. I might, let's see, is this going to be too much, or is this going to be a nice element? Let's see. Well, you know, we will leave that in reserve. We might use that. It might be too much. Now, I might stamp some more, but I had already done this when I was experimenting with greens last night. And this is Old Olive, and this is soft seafoam. And I think I'm just going to use it because I've already done it. And I think it's just going to work. Now, I can use this, or this, and this is soft seafoam, or I can use the white. Let's see. Not totally sure. And I don't know, maybe that's not the right look. I think I'm going to leave that off. But I think I am going to bring in this ribbon. I think that is a good look. And so I think what I'm going to do here, let's start gluing a few things down. Let's put these papers together. And again, this is the Specialty Thoughtful, maybe Journey paper. There's also a set of Memories and More cards for this, which are really, really pretty, which you could make some quick cards with it. Personally, I would use it more for scrapbooking, because if I'm going to make cards with this whole suite, I want to use the paper and the stamps and the dies, and that's the direction I want to go. Okay, so Simone likes the white. Thank you for your input. I like that. Now, one thing I forgot to do is I'm going to put a little piece of ribbon here behind this. So let's put this across first. Look at those colors. Aren't they gorgeous? I love them. Of course, y'all know, if you've been around here at all, Petal Pink is my absolute favorite Stampin' Up! Color. You can dress it up or dress it down. It is a chameleon type color because it goes with just about everything. I absolutely adore it. Let's see now. Is that going to be too far down? No, it's about right. Okay. So let's put this down like so. And then we are going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I've got this piece that is on its last leg, but these little end pieces are some of my favorites. I do love that our Stampin' Dimensionals, you not only get 300 is the stated count, but that doesn't even count all these little edge pieces. So they're an absolute bargain, and absolute the best. I know that I've come across some from other companies, and not to knock the other companies, but seriously, they're like, some of them are so thick, they're kind of unwieldy. These have just the perfect height to be unobtrusive and just from the side and to give you just a little bit of lift. Okay, we have one vote for the white and one vote against the white. So we'll see where we get on. Thank you for those of you who are sharing my video. That helps me so much. Now I think, let's just see here a minute. Now I could, oh, now that would change everything. Of course, I've already cut the thing. I've already cut it. That would change everything if we just used the die. Oh my. What do we think about that, folks? What do we think? Do we like just the die and not even use? Or let's see, we could go here. Oh, now that we could, I kind of like that. I kind of like that because I cut it, I could spread it a little bit more. Well, that's kind of, I think that's kind of interesting. Okay, so we like the die. Everybody's liking the white. Okay, I think we might just do it that way. Let's see if we can get a little bit of glue over here. See if y'all know that this is not my favorite thing. The green glue and I have a love-hate relationship. So let's see let's see if it's working for me tonight. I'm going to take my same piece of paper here. See, this is how it's fun to work together on a project. That's how I do my best work. Okay, I'm going to do the way I do this, and I'm going to just do little bits and pieces on here. And I'm not even going to get too particular about if I'm hitting it right on the money or not, because all that's going to get thrown away. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be super, super fun. Now, let's do this. I think this is going to have a lot of texture. So Marissa's anxious to see this in person. I think it's going to be really cool because of all the texture. And I really would not have thought to do this. I'm going to angle this a little bit so that it's kind of up. I can have a little bit more room. See, I've kind of elongated it just a wee bit. And now I'm going to put this right here so you'll not see that little gap in the middle. But that's what's fun with the dies is you can do, and you can do it as punches as well. You can make them the size that you want them so many times, if you just kind of change it up a little bit. Well, I'm glad I did this tonight because there's more than just me that's staying in tonight. Okay, so this, again, I had already colored this one when I was playing around with colors for this one. And this is a mixture of Old Olive and soft seafoam. Soft seafoam to keep it really, really soft and light. So that is looking really nice. Is there a light beige for the sentiment? That's actually a good call, Linda. Let's see. Let's break out a little bit of basic beige and see if I'm going to move this so it doesn't distract us. That's my host code if anybody needs to place an order. Okay. Here is the beige. What do we think about the basic beige? That might be a really good call. So we could do the basic beige. Let's see. Another thing I could do is I could bring in the, okay, Linda's liking the basic beige. The other thing I could bring in is a little bit of petal pink. So we could bring back the petal pink. I think it might be too much of a good thing. As much as I love it, I think it's a little bit too much. That might be just it. Because I do think, okay, so Kathy's liking the basic beige. Let's see. Where'd my little cut and emboss? Here we go. Let's do it this way. I will say, because this is a red rubber, cling rubber stamp, I do prefer to stamp and then die cut versus the other way around, because I have trouble getting it centered if I don't do it that way. So let's toss this now. Don't need that anymore. Hey, Tasha, welcome, welcome. We are making a fun card tonight, doing all kinds of fun things on here. Okay, so I'm going to do this in basic gray. I actually stamped this in basic gray, and that keeps it looking soft. Number one, it's picking up the basic gray from this layer, but also I find that when you want a soft look and you stamp in tuxedo black and then you add your blends when they're really light, it's a very high contrast, and I didn't want that high contrast for this particular card. So, and actually, let's just see. Missing you. I could do I appreciate you. I could do thinking of you fondly. That's kind of nice. And this has some really nice greetings. Dearest friend. Oh, isn't that pretty? I think I might just go with that. I like this is really looking delicate, and I like the scripty font there, and I can always use that greeting for someone. But I think what I'm going to do, instead of using, well, obviously this die will not fit, and I don't really want to use a big die. So what I think I'm going to do is what I don't do very often. I'm going to fussy cut the words. So let's just see where we get on here. Okay, basic beige here. And basic gray here. Thinking, oh, okay, now Kathy wants thinking of you fondly. Then I'm going to switch it. She voted, so I'm going to switch it. And it's actually going to be better even for the fussy cutting technique. Okay, thinking of you fondly, because my dearest friend, I could think of you fondly. Okay, let me grab a block. Let's see. Here we go. Now, let's just tap, tap, tap. Okay, so Marissa likes this one as well. Oh, and I've got glue stuck here now. I'm going to have to really give this a good clean when I'm done. But you know what? Since I'm going to fussy cut this, it doesn't really matter whether I'm straight or anything. Okay, and see how soft that is? I think that's going to be really, that's the ticket. Well done. Now you could just cut it, you could just cut it straight and do a little banner, or even just use a little strip. Hey, Jolene, I'm glad you could join us. But I think I'm going to do the actual fussy cut, where I'm going to cut across here, and then across here, and then across the bottom, but then we're going to give a little bit of detailing here. So I don't do this often, but I do like the look. Okay, here we go. And it just gives you the ability to have your greeting kind of right where you want it, and it's not taking up a lot of space, and it's just providing just enough of a greeting. So I think that is going to be ever so nice. And I'm going to pop this up on some, well, I would use mini dimensionals, but I think these little skinny guys right here will do the trick for me. Can I get all three of them in there? Let's see. Oh yeah, look at there. Okay, so that is going to go, and I'm going to put it just above this, just above where the ribbon's running, so that you kind of have that, you kind of have both of them. I'm going to need a little mini under there. That's going to bug me. I don't like when my edges cave in. So let me just pop a little mini demi underneath there. Okay, there we go. There it is. Now we're going to do just a little bit more. Okay, so I'm really, really liking this so far. We're going to do just a couple of little final touches. I might think about doing a little knot over here. So let's just see what we think about that, or even a bow. A bow might be too much because we got a lot going on here, but let's just give it a try and see. because it is, after all, it is petal pink, and it's such a gorgeous color. And this is a really pretty ribbon, and it kind of has this whole elegant vibe that we already have going here. So let's just see what we can do. I'm going to try the bow first, and if it doesn't work, then we will go to a knot. And I think this might just be a little bit too much, but let's see. Let's just see. My fingers are fumbling tonight. Yeah, it's too much of a good thing. So I'm going to go like this, and then we are going to do a finished knot. So let's do this. Yes, there we go. And then we will just trim these tails a bit. Now, the pearls are part of this suite, but I don't know that I want to use the pearls. Let's just see what we think here. The pearls would look really pretty. I'm liking this a lot. You guys have been a big part of this whole design process. Now, these are the that really does look pretty. I have to say, the other thing I thought about is, you know, we have these silver pearls. So I could even pick up the silver, and it kind of quiets down. There's a lot of this, you know, kind of orangey colors. The silver, this is actually gray. These are basic gray and smoky slate. So tell me what you're thinking about the gray or these are really kind of the pinky ones in here. There's some that are more orangey, but I kind of like that because I think you might get too much if we went with the orangey. Okay, so Kathy likes the silver ones. Let's see if anybody else is going to weigh in. And then we're going to just go with it. But I am liking this a lot. And I will say these pearls are a little bit thicker. They'll still mail for a single stamp. You just need to usually put like a little piece of extra cardstock or even a piece of packing tape over your envelope. Okay, lots of votes for the silver. So now I have to decide whether I'm going to go with the light or the dark. Decisions. I think I'm going to go with the dark because it's picking up this dark basic gray here. So let's just go. Oh, I think it's so pretty. Oh, I'm liking it a lot. I'm liking it a whole lot. I'm going to put these together. And do I have a little one that's also dark? I think I do. Oh. Actually, I think I'm going to use a few here. Okay. See, I have no room there. I like that because it brings the eye down to the greeting. That's probably enough. If I add more, it's going to be too busy. But I'm liking it a lot. I'm really happy with that. So this is showcasing Thoughtful Wishes, amazing bundle. And here are 2 cards using much of the same, but with a few little changes. And you can see on this one, I used Wild Wheat and Calypso Coral. This one, I flipped it, and I did Petal Pink, then Calypso Coral, and then Wild Wheat, and used the die and all the elements of the bundle. So lots of fun. Thank you very much for all of your input on this card tonight. Now, before I love you and leave you, I've got a couple of things. I already talked to you about Card Club and for July, and this gives you, if you're part of my card club, you're getting all the elements for this. Well, you won't get this little piece right here, this little die cut, but you're getting all the elements for this anyway in your kit. So tomorrow I have my bingo going out, and so you might want to, if you're not already signed up for this, this is an online bingo. These are the projects we're making. There's that cute little wheelbarrow that we did last week, but we did it in red, white, and blue. So these are the make and take projects. You get 2 bingo cards, and we play in a private Facebook group on the 10th. So this is a monthly online bingo, and we are on the second Wednesday each month. So I will put the link in case anybody still wants to join me for that. Like I said, those packets are going out tomorrow. And then last but not least, the other thing I had going out the door this week, and even I think Kathy, yours went out. It's going out in the mail tomorrow because I had some extra things to add. So this is a class by mail that I did, and this is a Funfold class. So I'm actually doing a Funfold series this summer, and this is the first in the series. And each one includes a stamp set. So this was the watercolor melon stamp set that we had in Celebration, and I put it to use with some really good Funfolds. And so, and with that super fun paper from the new annual catalog, and some really good Funfolds for you to play with. And, you know, you could use any greeting stamp set. I used Simply Said from the new annual catalog. This one was my favorite, but I love that Flirty Flamingo and it just went away. Granny Apple Green. I love, love, love that color combination. So I have a couple of these still that that are ready to go. So if anybody wants to jump into that, I will put that link up there as well. And so I've got lots of things to keep you stamping this summer. And now I am going to love you and leave you. Thank you so very much for tuning in tonight and for helping me to make this pretty card. I'm going to get this on my blog, hopefully for tomorrow. And as always, for Facebook Live, I will give you the inspiration sheet. The difference for me between inspiration sheet and tutorial is the inspiration sheet is going to give you all the measurements and all the supplies. The tutorial will give you all of, you know, step by step, but I figure, you know, you've already watched the step by steps. You don't really need that. But one way or the other, it will be in my next email news going out to you. So thanks again for tuning in. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Very happy to be here in America. I've lived abroad several times in my life. When I was a child growing up, I lived in South America, Central America, and as an adult, I lived 9 years in the UK. And I can tell you that there is no place like America. I am very, very blessed and honored and grateful to be here, and grateful for all of the freedoms that we have. Thanks again for tuning in. Take care, and God bless.